You ready?
Ready.
Okay, she's ready, I'm ready. Hi everybody, Ryan Sudol here, Sudol's Profiles, episode number 3. We are here with Mrs. Jones. Hi, Mrs. Jones.
Hello, Ryan. How are you?
And you're carrying either Mr. or Miss Jones. We don't know
yes,
yet.
Baby Jones.
Baby Jones. And, well, right off the bat, I wanted to show you a picture. Who is this man right here?
This man is Justin Renna, and he was my high school soccer coach. He coached me for 4 years of high school soccer, and now I get to coach against him because we play each other all the time.
Yeah, what is that like?
Coach, it's a lot of fun. For a couple of years, we kind of went back and forth, and we had a lot of really close games. And it's nice to now have a different relationship with him, where it's like a competitive thing,
Yeah.
and I'm able to use some of the stuff that he taught me. Against him. Which is kind of fun. We've only beat him once, and they always have a really good team.
Uh-huh.
But it's a lot of fun getting to play against
What
him.
was the most valuable lesson you think he taught you?
He and I used to butt heads a lot, so I think he taught me a really valuable lesson in I don't know everything.
That helps.
Yeah, like you're in high school and you think you know everything, and he didn't really put up with anybody's nonsense, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like I learned pretty quick that it wasn't going to be my way all the time, which was good.
You like that?
Yeah, no, a little bit.
Well, I just wanted to tell you that you're a poet, and I bet you didn't know it.
Oh, jeez.
Because
Tell
you were
me
reading
why.
a poem here
Yes.
to some seniors
Where
at
did
a
you
dinner.
get all of these? These are awesome.
Explain what is going on in this picture and who the people are that are beside
So
you.
this is my senior year of soccer, and that is Amanda Gersey, Jessica Holmes, Danielle Rosatelli, and Erica Peshkin.
She went D1, correct?
She did. She played at Cal State Fullerton. I think we are reading, we were the 5 girls who had been playing varsity since we were freshmen. So we were reading a poem. This is either our junior or senior year.
This is your junior year.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say, it looks like there's some girls who are a grade above me, and we're reading a poem about them, like thanking the seniors.
Aww.
Yeah.
Do you remember any lines from it at all?
I don't. God, that was 2003.
Yeah.
So that's quite a while ago. I don't remember what I ate for breakfast, Ryan.
what is this? Is this like the senior dinner, like a
This is our banquet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is our banquet. We always had really, really nice banquets. That we had a super awesome booster club that our parents ran, and they always had really nice banquets at the Skylands or wherever they did it. So, yeah.
And we also have a picture of you at your senior day with your mom and dad.
Yeah. Aww.
You did not, like, the most striking thing about looking at this is that you did not change a bit, almost.
Oh, that's really kind of you, because I'm, like, a lot older now. And 2 babies in. Yeah, that was really fun. Again, it was, like, the culture at Roxbury for sports was so awesome, and, we always had really nice senior days, and we always had, they really took the time, the coaches and the administration, to recognize the, what their athletes gave up to be part of their programs and stuff. So senior night was really special.
In your senior year, you went to the group final. You were a state sectional champion, 22-3-1.
Yeah, that
How
was
that
amazing.
For you?
Coming from freshman year, I got pulled up to varsity, and I didn't get very much playing time. And again, as a freshman, you don't know that that's how it's supposed to go.
Right.
And I feel like I worked really hard over 4 years. So to get to the point where I was an impact player, a starter, playing all the time, and then impacting our team to the point where we had graduated 9 or 10 seniors the year before. And we had a really good season the year before that, so nobody was necessarily expecting us to do as well. And we actually took it one step farther than we did the year before and made it to the group finals. And I still remember a crushing, I think it was 2-1 loss against Brick Memorial at TCNJ in the finals. But it was really cool to be able to do that. And we had our 3rd county championship in a row that year. To be a part of that was really cool also. We won our conference that year. So it was just like a really awesome culmination year for my 4 years of high school soccer.
And you went second team all conference in that final year.
Yeah.
How did that feel for you as an individual to have that distinction put upon you, also with the sectional title and the county title?
Yeah, it was awesome because, again, like I said, I had 2 really talented players in front of me. It was Audrey Nonemaker, and she played Division I soccer also, and her last name is escaping me right now, but they both played ahead of me for, they were 1 year ahead of me, and I was kind of a role player, and to be able to step in my senior year and take their spots and fill their big shoes, and then be recognized for what I did was pretty cool.
Yeah. Speaking of high school, who's this person right here?
This is Emily Wilson. She was the outside right back, and I played with Emily since we were, I want to say 5th or 6th grade. We played on the same travel team together.
Yeah. Well,
so she played at Rowan.
Well, what is that like? Like, I'm guessing there's other people on the team like her who you played with, since that point. What is it like to play with a team and stay with that team for almost 10 years?
Yeah, so I think I talk about this a lot now as a coach, because with all of the clubs that are available now, they weren't as available when I was playing, so people played for their town. So we all played it was the Roxbury Shockers for, a couple years, and then we turned into the Roxbury Extreme, but it was Roxbury Travel Soccer.
The futuristic names of these teams.
And that's
Turn of the century.
Yes. That's who we played for, and everybody played together, and I think that's why we were so successful, because we were able to play together and know how we all played and, what to expect from our teammates, and you didn't, when you come to school, high school for the first time, you're playing with girls that you haven't played with before, and it takes time to develop that kind of chemistry, and we already had it going in, which was really cool, and I think made a huge difference, and then it was just really special to be able to play with them our whole lives and then have such an awesome senior year together. So
who's this person right here?
That is Brittany Finelli. I played soccer with Brittany and basketball with Brittany, and she was my senior year. I was the only senior on the basketball team, and Brittany was my junior co-captain.
Oh, nice.
And we still keep in touch. I see her husband all the time, coaches track at Roxbury, so I coach track, so I see him all the time. I still talk to Brittany and keep in touch with Brittany. She was a close friend. I don't see her as much as I would like to, but life gets busy.
Dual sport athlete, and also tri-sport athlete.
Yep.
You were track in the spring, and basketball in the winter, soccer in the fall.
Correct.
How was that for you? Because I think you're one of the first, in the people I've interviewed for this. You are I think the first tri-sport athlete.
Yeah. So when I went into high school, I knew I was doing soccer and basketball. I did that my whole life.
Right.
I was originally going to play volleyball because it was in the spring the year before, but they moved it to the fall when I went in. So I didn't actually have any plans of playing any spring sports, and I ended up lettering in soccer and basketball my freshman year, and my athletic director saw me sitting in the lobby one day in the spring and was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I don't know, I'm hanging out." And he's like, "Go to track practice," because he was like, if you letter, I could be a 12 varsity letter winner, which was a really cool accomplishment.
Did you do that?
I did do that.
Nice.
Yeah, so I went to track, so I'm thankful to Mr. Friend for making me go to track practice, and learn something totally different and totally new that I hadn't done before. And honestly, I didn't know any different because I was so busy all the time. My whole life growing up, my parents always had us involved in everything, so I didn't really know different. And I'm glad that I tell my players all the time when they get overwhelmed because there's so much going on with all their sports and school and everything, it really helps you in college and in real life because it doesn't get easier, So staying busy in high school and being involved in a lot of things really just teaches you how to do real life,
Well, I mean, that's one of the biggest purpose of high school sports in general is to teach those life lessons. Just a couple more people from the soccer realm of things. Who's this person right there?
That is Melissa Hall. Melissa Hall was our goalkeeper. We used to call her Hall the Wall because she, with our 22 wins that we had, she was just ridiculous. Nothing ever got by her, it felt like. Again, played with her for a lot of years before high school, and then she actually coaches soccer now at Jefferson.
Really?
Who we play against constantly. They're in our conference. She's the head coach.
Nice.
So I get to see her twice a season, every soccer season, which is really, again, super cool to have that, connection.
Well, that dynamic, is it any different from the dynamic that you have playing against your high school coach?
Yeah, completely. She and I, it's a little bit more fun, I feel like, where my coaching against my old high school coach is a little bit more competitive. Like, I want to win. I want to beat him more.
Yeah.
So we, it's fun. We get to exchange a lot of ideas. I enjoy playing against her a lot.
And as we mentioned before, you did play basketball, and now we're going to get into a couple basketball players.
Okay.
Who is this individual right there?
That is Laura Ahern. Laura played Division I basketball at Wagner, and was just unreal. She moved to New Jersey from Tennessee, I think, like right before high school.
Oh.
And I remember her telling me she didn't know anybody, so all she did all summer before high school was go to Horseshoe Lake and play basketball with boys that were over there. And she just got ridiculously good at basketball. And
she didn't play basketball before?
She did play. She played.
Because that's like a great story.
That was kind of like her big, like, I don't know anybody, this is all I have to do. And she feels like that really made her into the player that she was. And just, again, super awesome person. Worked hard. We always ended up, we were both tall, kind of like power forward types. And we always ended up partnering up against her. And, you know, I give her most of the credit for why I ended up being a decent basketball player, because she pushed me to be.
Who's that?
That is Jessica Colucci. Are you impressed that I remember all these names?
No, well, I mean, you're supposed to. It would be awkward if you didn't.
Jessica Colucci. I played basketball. She played, again, my junior year of basketball, she was on JV and, like, swung varsity because I had a bunch of girls ahead of me that were seniors. That senior class was really big. And then they literally all graduated, and I was the only returning varsity player.
How did that feel for you to be, like, the lone wolf at the top of the pack?
Well, you know what? Looking back on it, I wish that I handled it better. You know, I think I was so used to being surrounded by people who would lift me up all the time.
You were just kind of taken aback?
At the time, I don't think I really knew how to be that person for other people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. How I didn't know how to bring them up with me, and it was hard for me to adjust to players who were not as experienced, you know, and to be the most experienced person on the floor. But I think I learned a lot in the process, and, like, being able to recognize that now, and it gives me something to talk to. Like, I had a senior this year that I coached in soccer and basketball. She was Victoria Aspiazzi was in a similar situation in basketball where she was the only senior. And I was able to share a lot of my experiences and how I wish I handled things, you know, to help her out. So
just a couple more Roxbury people, and then we're going to move on to ESU.
To college?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, we're going to the college years, folks. Who is this individual right there?
That is Megan Lynch, another one.
10 for 10.
Yeah. Megan was another one. Same with Brittany and Jess. Came up when my senior year as juniors, and went from being, you know, swing JV players to being impact varsity players. And, you know, as much as we didn't have a great record my senior year, they were a lot of fun. These girls, they worked hard, and they were a ton of fun, and we had a blast in the locker room, and, you know, all that. So they made my senior year really special for me either way.
I'd like to apologize for this one because I was in the middle of just crumpling. I do things with my hands a lot. I have ADHD.
And you were crumpling it up.
So hopefully you can make out this person.
Oh,
can you try to make out who that is? I will tell you who it is.
Is that Renee?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Renee.
Okay. This is my best friend since kindergarten.
Get out of here.
I actually just talked to her on the phone on the way into work this morning. So Renee and I went to Kennedy School as kindergarteners, and we were in the same class every single year, and except for 4th grade, and I think 8th grade we got split onto different teams.
Okay.
But every other year of elementary school we were in the same classes, and just completely inseparable our whole lives. Played soccer together, you know. And still to this day, she's my best friend.
Having your best friend on the team, does that help you, or like do you guys like butt heads all the time, like brothers and sisters?
No, you know what? We were both really competitive, and I think growing up, you know, when we would have field day and things like that, I can remember Renee was always really fast, and like I was more of a distance runner type, so we would do like the 100-yard dash, and we would go against each other, and I would always get so upset because Renee would beat me all the time. But mostly I think it just made us better because we were able to compete with each other in sports and on the field, but also knew that it was to help each other get better, and then off the field it was a completely separate thing.
Right.
You know, so it definitely helped, and it was definitely really special having her.
Yeah, so then you moved on to play at East Stroudsburg University, and you have a rare distinction. You had 2 coaches in your college career. Who are these 2 fellas right here?
I did. This is Derek Arnault, and he was my coach my freshman and sophomore year. He's from Trinidad. He played on the Trinidad national team for a little while. Really awesome guy. Like genuinely cared a lot about each player on his team. And then he left at the end of my sophomore year, and they hired this guy from Long Island. He is Rob Berkowitz, and he's the coach now. And he really, he did a lot for E. Stroudsburg, and is still doing a lot. He coaches the boys and girls now. They have multiple conference championships since we left, and he really taught me a lot about the game in general. That I use a lot of the stuff that he taught me in my own coaching career now.
And this one's a gift. This one you can keep.
Oh, I can?
You can keep this one.
Okay.
Actually, no, you can keep all of this, but this was one that I made specifically for you to keep as a gift to hang over your office or something like that. So there is your...
Oh, look at that.
So there is your paper... I don't know what to call it. Your little mini poster thing that they put in the media release for your college accomplishment in your senior year, which was... it says right there, a first team all
first team all PSAC and second team all region, all Atlantic region.
And it says here you also, sorry about this,
no,
but
that's okay.
it says here you got all Northeast region Daktronics second team.
Yeah. So that was, again, it was very, very cool. That we were brought in my freshman year with a huge class of girls, and kind of as we progressed through the program, we were able to impact it in a really positive way that it hadn't been before. So we were able to make it to the PSAC semifinals. We lost in PKs. That's our conference tournament, and we were the first team to win a game in the regional NCAA tournament. So that was like a big accomplishment for us. And we like to feel like we kind of kickstarted their successes that they're having now.
I wouldn't say that you're wrong. And the thing is that your senior year was only the second time in program history that they ended up going to the NCAA tournament.
Right.
How was that for you to be like, wow, I'm the captain on this team, and we're leading them into the promised land?
It was awesome, and it was really reminiscent of kind of like how my high school career was, where I came in and we were average, and then by the time we left it better than what we came into, which is, again, something I try to teach my high school girls that I coach now is, regardless of what kind of program you come into, always try to leave it better than you entered it. And so that was really awesome that we were able to kind of do that there. And I'm still friends with most of those girls that I played with, and you make most of your close connections in college, and it was really irreplaceable.
If you're getting sick of carrying those, you may put them down.
Okay, it's fine, but I will.
You can put them
just
down.
Just kind of compiling.
And speaking of the captains.
Yes, my girls.
Yes, there's your picture.
Jen Buckley at the time. Her last name is Levi now that she's married. She is still super close. We actually work in a business together. It's called Juice Plus. We have a business together.
I knew you would do something like that. You're that type
it's like
person.
healthy stuff. And she's just like super inspiring human to me, and she's probably the most like-minded person that I know to me. Like, we think exactly the same, which is why it was so great to be a captain with her. She's actually pregnant also right now, and is going to have her baby, or supposed to have her baby like 4 or 5 days after me. So we'll see how that ends up working out. It will be her first child.
Aww.
Yeah.
And then
this one is Janine on the top. She was our goalkeeper, and she actually transferred in. Her first 2 years she played at a junior college, and then transferred in. And at first we weren't really sure about her, but she ended up being an incredible goalkeeper and an awesome person. She travels the world now. She's not married. She's a phys ed teacher, but in her free time she was in Thailand or Peru.
Doing what?
Just exploring, and she takes pictures. She loves to do photography, so she does all our family shoots that we have with our kids and stuff. She does for us.
White shirts on the beach.
Yep, that kind of stuff. That kind of cheesy old people stuff.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, but so she's awesome too. Yeah, those were awesome.
Quit calling yourself old. I keep telling you.
I'm older than I was here.
Well,
Ryan.
Of course. Well, anyways, we're going to move on to your college teammates. Who's that?
That is Dina Schleifer. I don't really she's one of the ones I don't see very often. After college, she kind of went off. I think she might have gone to South America for a little while, and just did some, exploring and
what is up
business
with these college teammates and exploring?
I think when you play sports your whole life and you never get to go anywhere because you're always dedicating your time to that. You want to take an opportunity to go do something a little different before your real life starts.
Right.
I think.
Did you do that?
I did not. I was engaged the day that I graduated from college. So we kind of just went moving on with our lives. But
wait, did he propose to you on graduation day?
On graduation day, because
he
had
God,
asked.
That's so cute.
Totally adorable. He told me like earlier that year. He was like, "So when do you want to get engaged?" Just like all nonchalant, like I was totally gonna say yes. And I was like, "Can you just let me graduate first?" That was my response. So that's what he did. He let me graduate, and then at my graduation party that day, he proposed to me.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
That's so cute.
That's my Kevin.
Oh. I'm sorry. I just got. That was a moment there. Did he? So he went to school with you at East Stroudsburg?
He did. We were both. We met because we had the same major. He's a phys ed teacher also.
Oh, okay. Where does he teach?
He teaches at Hunterdon Central right now.
Okay.
And he coaches volleyball, boys and girls there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, next person. Who's that person?
Linda Hicks. Linda played a couple years before I got there, and then didn't play because she got sick, and then came back for our junior and senior year.
What was she sick with?
She has an autoimmune disorder, so like she was getting that under control. So she got that under control, and then she came back to play when Rob became our coach and was a huge asset, leading goal scorer. Linda was like, as a center midfielder, she was the player that I always played my passes to, and she made awesome runs up top. And I keep in touch with Linda a lot over Facebook now, and she's really into like all the healthy eating stuff as I am too.
Yes.
So we bond over that. But yeah, Linda, another awesome teammate to have senior year.
This is a more recent picture.
Yes,
Who's
Carrie. This is my girl Carrie. I never see Carrie. Carrie was one of our really good friends. Carrie actually came in freshman year and she was hurt, so she missed like our whole freshman year. She broke her collarbone in a car accident.
Jeez.
But now Carrie works for companies that plan meetings. She does meeting planning, so she's like travels all over the place planning meetings. She was living in Indianapolis for a while.
beginning to feel a little bit bad for you.
Well, but this is what happens once you graduate. All of your friends are like doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And then you have to plan like once or twice a year to get together and do something. So
do you do that?
We do. We actually have something coming up for one of our friends. It's a walk that she's doing for a fundraiser on May 20th that we're all going to go do together, and then I'm sure we'll hang out afterwards. And
including her?
I think Carrie just moved back to Pennsylvania, so she should be able to get there to do those types of things. I haven't seen Carrie. I actually just saw her at now that, again, we all have kids, so she is at birthday parties and stuff now, and our kids have first and second birthday parties, so I see her more than I used to, but not as much as I'd like to.
Okay, 3 more people, and then we are going to be done. Who's that person?
Jess Oliva. This Jess was a year younger than me. She works at Clifton now. I actually just saw her in the fall because she coaches soccer at Clifton, and they were playing Morris Knowles in the sectional final at Morris Knowles, so I was able to get over to the game. And Jess was our stopper, so I was able to play in the middle with her a lot. And
she was also the backup goalie, correct? Or was she?
No, Jess wasn't the backup goalie. I'm trying to think who our backup goalie was Michelle Ginn. She lives in Florida now. Jess just played stopper, so she had like a really big kick. She kicked.
That's my first wrong answer this whole time.
That's okay. No, you're doing it. I'm like super impressed / amazed that you were able to get all this information. So that's really cool.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, it's good
and
research.
2 more people, and we are out of here.
Right.
Who was that person right
there?
Kate
Curran. Kate was. Let me tell you a story about Kate. Kate was, again, a year younger than me, and I will never forget, we were playing, I think it was Bloomsburg, and our goalkeeper got caught out of the net, and Caitlin, I vividly remember this, was standing on the post on a corner kick, and someone rocketed a shot, and she just laid out and headed the ball out of the net, and it was totally saved the game for us. Yeah, just one of those.
That was her Sports Center moment.
One of those, totally needed a den net after that. She was really a back, played in the back for us, was a really awesome player, worked hard, so. Bringing back lots of memories for me.
Okay, well, this last person is 2 years younger than you.
Okay,
I'm
let me see. Oh, geez.
I'm going to let you guess.
2 years younger than me?
2 years younger than you. She was a sophomore when you were actually, no, she may have been a freshman, I'm not sure. She was either a freshman. Ta-da!
No way. Look at me. See? I didn't even have to show me the picture and I got it right.
Yes.
Lindsay was fast. And I think she ended up being like one of the high goal scorers.
She was second team all conference with you too.
Yeah. She was played outside mid, sometimes played forward for us, and was just like crazy fast. You could play a ball down the line, and she got there every time. And very quiet, never really said much.
The quiet ones are always the fast ones.
But you got to watch out for the quiet ones. Yeah.
Yes.
So she was a good addition for us to have. So. Awesome. Oh my God, Lindsay Floater. That's so funny.
So to close this whole thing out here, looking back to how you went to Roxbury, went to East Stroudsburg, and now you're coaching high school soccer. You're an assistant coach for basketball, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And an assistant track coach.
And an assistant track coach. Do you believe that this was your destiny?
I think that everything in my life led me to this point, including my dad pretty much being the same person that I was, and he used to take me, he was a phys ed teacher, became a principal, coached basketball, coached football, coached baseball, officiates track still. So I think it was destined to be in my future just because
he did everything.
That's what I was comfortable with, and I knew the schedule allowed for a family like I wanted, and I knew that I was passionate about it because he instilled a lot of that in me. And I don't think I would be able to coach the way that I have coached without the experiences that I did get at Roxbury and at East Stroudsburg, good and bad. And that was one of the things my dad also used to tell me was if every athlete in history of time comes home complaining about their coaches from time to time, and instead of my dad agreeing with me, he always would make me think about what I was learning. So whether it was a good thing that I was learning that I wanted to emulate, or something that I, as a coach, someday never wanted to do.
Yeah.
He always made sure that I learned something from it instead of just being mad about it. So all of those experiences plus my dad made me kind of head down this path. So, which I'm really grateful that I have because I love doing it.
Aww.
So.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me
today. Thank you, Ryan.
Today.
This was a really enjoyable trip down memory lane with you.
That's what we do. We make dreams come true on this show. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Bye.